Well, a lot of questions after President Trump signs a slew of executive orders. Two of the big ones surround immigration and transgender issues, and Minnesotans have concerns about what this all means. Fox 9's Karen Scullin joins us now from the newsroom with more on this. Karen.
Well, we're going to start with immigration. I spoke with the Immigration Law Center a short while ago and asked them if they were getting a surge of calls since the executive order was signed. And the answer was actually not really. But the attorney does think more calls will be coming in. She has concerns about the executive order, specifically the suspension of refugee entries into the U.S. Also, though, part of the order included rescinding the sensitive locations memo that said ICE wouldn't do enforcement actions at places like churches, schools, and hospitals. What that means exactly, though, isn't known yet.
That has been rescinded, which of course signals perhaps an intent to conduct enforcement actions in those areas. Can't say that for certain, of course, but the rescission of the memo is notable. Workplace raids, yes, those have been part of ICE enforcement in the past. To be clear, not just under this administration, previous administrations have also used workplace raids as enforcement mechanisms.
And that's just it. There's a lot in the executive orders, but how it all plays out in the long run, we really don't know. Decker did say Minnesotans should educate themselves on the issues and their rights. Changing gears now, let's look at the order that impacts the transgender community. Now, the federal government will now only recognize people as male or female. This will impact passports and visas. Federal forms and documents that require an individual's sex will only say male or female, and all references will be to sex rather than gender. No federal funds will be used for medical procedures for transitioning. Federal prisons will no longer allow transgender inmates to be housed with the gender they identify with. One of the bigger concerns for the transgender community is an end to federal funding for schools that offer programs for the LGBTQ community.
Sweeping. It's filled with proclamations that may or may not become the law, but it's certainly operating as intended, which is to generate an immense amount of fear and pre-compliance.
Finke also said that Minnesota has state laws that offer protections for transgenders, and that won't change. She believes this is mostly about instilling fear. But in an overall sense, I'm hearing a lot of let's see what this all means no matter what order we're talking about, because at this point, it's a lot of guesswork and speculation.